So tiri kutaura kudai somhuri yezimbabwe CAB3 rakapindira, and then iko zvino zvitakuwana ma-reactions from different people, different institutions, different chakadaro. So tiri kumapindira because these reactions tells you what is going to happen next. These same reactions ndo the roadmap yekwatiri kuinda, ndo map yatiri kushandisa, igoogle maps yekuona tiri kuinda kupi. Inzwa kuti vanhu vari kubva kuinstitution yakafanana neCIO vari kutaura kuti chii. So tina CIO, DIO, District Intelligence Officer, a retired Shepherd Mpeswe. I think vamwenye vakumuziva right now. The guy has issued a statement. Hanzi Zimbos should not be fooled by the choreograph of victory surrounding CAB3. What passed in parliament was not a triumph of the people and their constitution, but the latest display of a political class determined to bend the constitution to its own survival. Right. What happened in parliament was not merely a vote. It was the formalization of a political culture that now openly prioritizes self-preservation over constitutionalism, expedience over principle, and elite consensus over the will of the people. The numbers, 216 in favor and 42 against, may suggest victory. However, numbers manufactured through inducement, coercion, and institutional manipulation do not translate into legitimacy. They only deepen the distance between the state and its citizens. Oh, mrezimbabwe inzwai zviri kutaurwa naretired CIO Shepherd Mpeswe. Hanzi at its core, CAB3 is a power grab dressed in legal language. The real objective was never hidden for those willing to see it: extend presidential tenure, protect incumbents, and wrap the whole operation in parliamentary respectability. So the real objective was always political survival by extending power without the consent of the governed. Yet, in their haste to secure this outcome, CAB3 architects have exposed their greatest weakness, a profound lack of confidence in the people. If CAB3 truly reflected the will of Zimbos, a referendum would have been the most powerful endorsement. Instead, the route was deliberately avoided, not because it was impractical, but because CAB3 was going to be rejected by the people. Denying a referendum is treating the very source of constitutional authority, the people, as an obstacle to be managed rather than a voice to be heard. It's an obstacle to be managed rather. So, vaenda kumberi vachitaura ivo vachiti the debate on the role of the defense forces exposed another troubling weakness: a shallow understanding of constitutionalism, the roles and nature of the different security services by most MPs engaged in the debate. The military is not a decorative institution to be rewarded at will. In a country where institutions and individuals are captured, the question of who ultimately safeguards the constitution is too serious to be reduced to political convenience of the day. Zimbabwe's 2013 constitution was born of hard lessons, local and international, about instability, abuse of power, and the dangers of unchecked authority. To mutilate it now in order to benefit incumbents is not reform. It is constitutional vandalism. That 2013 constitution was drafted and shaped with the input of individuals with lived experience of conflict, instability, and state collapse, many of them from within the security sector itself, who served in many missions in Africa and beyond. So, unlike the shallow Ziyambi-led parliamentary debate on the defense forces, the drafters of the 2013 constitution understood that constitutions are not just legal documents, but they are safeguards against the very real dangers of governance failure. Right? murezimbabwe ndikuda kumbokudzosai mudebate remuparliament zvaitaurwa naziyambi about the constitution. So ziyambi wakaenda pane imwe section inotaura about the security institution, the security apparatus in the country, kuti these guys must act in accordance to the constitution. And it so this is a general statement that is a blanketed over all security members, sectors in Zimbabwe, all institutions that are considered the security, Boma prisons, Purisa, Kumachichi. These guys must act in accordance to the constitution. And then tine section is specifically for the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Not you. These guys, yes, they have to act in accordance to the constitution, but they also have to uphold the constitution. And then Zambi ndo vatanga kupopota chitika nzie izvozvozvo izvi zvakazonzi to uphold it yangova quite ambiguous what asi the real statement nderekuti in accordance rataubva kudhara pamusoro pema-all security apparatus. But what Zambi was ignoring and not understanding is that uphold is there for a reason. It's there. Yakaiswa mna 2013 yakaiswa for a reason. It's not a mistake. For the same reason yakaita kuti mna 2017 pakubviswa kwaMugabe military ishandise. That is the reason. Vakomana vanyangira yaona. Inzwai munzi. Rikatipedzisa statement ra Shepard Mpeswe, retired CIO, DIO. Hanzi. To now reinterpret those safeguards in a way that effectively subordinates all institutional judgment to the political center raises a fundamental question. What happens when that center itself is in violation of the Constitution? What happens when the executive, legislature, and even the judiciary are no longer reliable custodians of constitutional order? Across the continent and beyond, leaders who have manipulated constitutional frameworks to extend their rule have often mistaken temporary control for the lasting stability. In reality, they were accumulating pressure, political, social, and economic, that would eventually demand release. Power that is secured against the people is rarely secure for long. That is not a threat, but it is a pattern. By retired DIO Shepard Mpeswe. So, Zimbabwe, you can hear the grievance in what he's saying, and you can predict what is coming. So, tiripo pano pamuzindo wevanhu, tichange tichikupai more and more information. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Peace.